What's going on, everyone? Alliance Orc here, and welcome to part 4 and the finale of our random wild dungeon facts that you may or may not know. This series will include just a bunch of random little nitty things about dungeons that you may or may not know. Some of this may be helpful to you, but a lot of this is, oh, I never noticed that before. If you guys do enjoy videos like this, we do have parts 1, 2, and 3 on the channel already, so feel free to give those a check. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and fade from existence while you guys enjoy these very interesting and bizarre WoW facts. Let me know how many of them you knew, and feel free to share any that I may or may not have missed. Anywho, I'll see you guys later. Our first random dungeon fact comes from the OG Oldemon dungeon. This dungeon actually has 8 of some of the rarest transmog items you can find in the game, including Minor Hats of the Deep, Popple Fez, the Shadow Forge Bushmaster, the Jackhammer, the Pendulum of Doom, and as you see right here, here is all of the numbers that this person has sold it for, these items for. Easy millions of gold if you can get these items to drop. However, these items are unrealistically rare. Probably rarer than majority of the mount drops in the game. So if you want to farm these items in the OG Oldemon dungeon, feel free to be my guest, but just know their drop rates are absolutely microscopic. The boss Terran Gore, despite the fact that this is the only dungeon you fight him in, is actually the third time you face him in World of Warcraft, with the other 2 times being in Black Temple and Hellfire Citadel. Also, I did not mean to Thanos snap him that fast. That was an accident. For those that have never played a Demon Hunter before, this giant red Eridar is actually one of the final bosses you face before leaving the Vault of the Wardens in a Demon Hunter start zone. It's amazing that his corpse has actually just been chilling here this whole time. The fate of Glazer and Ash Golem are also affected by the Demon Hunter start zone as well. Hence is why Ash Golem is frozen when you see him. The Warden boss Cordana Fellsong actually used to be a good guy back in WoD. However, in a quest line that is now removed from the game, you bring Khadgar a Legion artifact that Gul'dan was using, and he actually uses it to corrupt Cordana and turn her to serve the Legion simply through that artifact alone. Hence is why she's a dungeon boss in Vault of the Wardens. If you are lucky enough, there are random times when Spellblade Alluriel can show up in this room in the Court of Star dungeons. It's very random and not really sure when it happens, but it can happen sometimes. Margrave Stradama is the only Margrave that we, the player, are responsible for killing, as Margrave Crexus was killed by Viraz. Viraz was killed by Draka after receiving the Primus's blessing. Margrave Garmal was killed by the fortress that Draka weaponized against her. Sindane is still alive, so that makes Margrave Strama the only one to have actually fallen by the player's hand. The boss Cujo in Mechagon is actually based off of the dog Cujo from the Stephen King book, which was based on a 200-pound St. Bernard who goes vicious after being bitten by a bat. Alright, and that is going to wrap up the final part of our random WoW dungeon facts. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series as we begin to prepare for all of the glory runs we're going to be doing this month. I just want to say you guys are more than welcome to come if you are watching this during the month of May. Anywho, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic day.